This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
I've wasted so much money on mini painting miracle solutions, viral products and trends that promise to level up my miniature painting instantly. These techniques would explode across YouTube and Instagram, everyone would be using them, and then a year later, they basically disappeared. So today, I'm going back through them, and I'm going to show you which ones caused me time, money, and frustration, including one viral trend I absolutely hate and what I use instead. Let's start with a heartbreak. Golden So-Flat Acrylics. The hype around these paints was massive. Every other YouTube channel was talking about them. The most matte paint ever, the most vibrant pigments available, the secret weapon for professional painters. And really, those claims are not wrong. The colors are gorgeous, the pigmentation incredible. When you first open the bottle and look at them on the palette, you think, oh my god, these are going to change everything. But there are a few catches we need to talk about. First is safety. Several of the pigments used in these paints, specifically the really vibrant paints, contain cadmium and cobalt pigments. Now these types of pigments are common in fine art paints and artists use them all the time. But they come with real safety requirements. When airbrushing, they require good ventilation and a mask, and you absolutely should not be putting your brush in your mouth, which many miniature painters do out of habit. Not that you should do that anyway. Now, no matter how much better these colors are, I'm just always hesitant whenever paints come with a warning. Second, price. One of these will cost you $15. Now, the argument is always, yeah, but this'll last you forever. And that's the truth. They're incredibly pigment dense, a little goes a really long way. But that raises another question. Are you actually using them often enough to justify that cost? Most miniature painters already have at least 50 paints on their desk. Adding another expensive line that you use only once every 6 months is questionable. Last is consistency. These paints are so thick. These paints are meant for canvas, so they work well on really large surfaces. They're not designed for something as small and intricate as our Warhammer Space Marines. You can absolutely thin them down and make them work, but it takes effort. And when we already have miniature paints designed specifically for this job, it adds friction to the process. If you're still looking for the most vibrant neon paints available, then Golden still has you covered. Try the Golden High Flow. These paints are fantastic. They're thinner, which means they behave much more like miniature paints. They work beautifully through an airbrush, they mix easily with other paints, and the colors are incredible. This hot pink and orange, I use this on almost every piece I paint. Now again, the same safety rules apply. Use ventilation, don't lick your brush, but they're far easier to work with, and at about half the price, they are totally worth the money. Want the best non-toxic neon paints? I highly recommend Cuttlefish Colors. They're not as intense, but are still my favorite non-toxic neon paint I've tested. Before we continue, let's talk about Squarespace. Squarespace has everything you need to build your online presence, and so much more. Use Squarespace Blueprint to answer a few questions and get a custom-designed website. Want something specific? Check out their templates, use their easy drag and drop tools to create your unique site fast. Add in online classes, print on demand, and built-in payments. It truly becomes your all-in-one platform. If you're ready to build the website for your next chapter, head to squarespace.com for your free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code LYLAMEV to save 10% off on your first purchase of a website or domain. All right, back to painting. Let's talk about the biggest miniature painting trend of the past several years, slap chop. Now the technique itself is great. I've used it, I've taught it, I've made videos about it. But the ecosystem of products that exploded around slap chop, that's where I got. Because suddenly there were dozens of products designed to optimize the technique, and I bought them. Texture palettes became their own new industry. Fancy resin ones, laser cut ones, palettes designed by hobby influencers. I even wasted dozens of bits to make my own. But you know what works exactly the same? Literal trash. Take a piece of cardboard, peel off the paper layer, expose the corrugated texture, boom, free texture palette. Another one, luxury dampening sponges. This is supposed to keep your dry brush from getting chalky. And yes, it does work. But you know what else works? A cheap kitchen sponge from the dollar store. Now here's where I have to be honest. Those expensive domed brushes, absolutely worth the money. I went out and bought these because of the hype, but once I tried them, I understood why people love them. They distribute paint beautifully, they glide across surfaces, and they make dry brushing much smoother. And finally, the one-coat paint explosion. Every company suddenly released their own version of contrast paints. Speed paints, express colors, instant colors. I tried them all. And after all of that testing, my verdict is pretty simple. Army Painter speed paints are the best overall. Contrast paints are also good, but the consistency across the Army Painter speed paint line makes them better. They all behave pretty much the same, making them really predictable. They flow well, they don't randomly stain in weird ways. So if you're going to buy one line, that's the one I'd recommend. This brings me to a trend that I absolutely despise: oil washes. For a while, oil washes were everywhere. They were pitched as this revolutionary shortcut, an easy way to add deep shadows, rich color variation, and instant realism to your miniatures using oil paint thinned down with mineral spirits or paint thinner. And to be fair, the results looked incredible in other people's videos. But no matter how hard I tried to make them work, I just couldn't. Every time I attempted it, it turned into a gritty mess. I tried different paints, I tried different thinners, I tried again and again. It got so bad I don't actually have any footage to show you, even though I filmed it. I was just never successful enough that I just deleted all the footage and pretended like it never happened. And beyond this frustration, oil washes come with a bunch of other complications that I just don't love. You need special paint thinner or mineral spirits to make them work. They can't be mixed or cleaned up with water like acrylics. And when you're done painting, you can't even rinse the brushes like you normally would with soap and water. You need solvents to clean them properly. At this point, what was supposed to be an interesting and easy shortcut is basically learning an entirely new painting process. However, if you are looking for something interesting to experiment with, I did test out using Noosh by Monument Hobbies as an oil wash substitute. It was definitely interesting, but honestly these days I'd much rather use thinned down speed paint to get that same vibrant color that naturally settles into the recesses. Before we finish, here's a few rapid fire fads that you can skip. A $100 Vortex paint shaker. You don't need a laboratory centrifuge. Drop a stainless steel mixing ball into your paint pot and shake with your arm. Fancy brush storage systems, specifically the ones that help you store your brush upside down. A viewer of mine reached out to Winsor Newton to ask, do we really need to store our paintbrushes like that? And the answer is no. Any new magic paint line. I've talked about this before. While paints can make a difference, buying an entire new paint range won't magically make you a better painter. Improving your painting comes down to skill and practice, not new paints. At the end of the day, there's no magic paint, no miracle technique, no single product that is going to magically make your miniatures look professional. Every painter you admire got there through hard work and making a lot of mistakes. And if what you really want is speed, then that problem has basically been solved as well. Rattle can zenithal, speed paints, done. If there's anything I've learned from doing all of this, it's that the most important thing that you can do, learn to enjoy the process of painting, the experimenting in painting, the ups and downs of improving, or the long hours that it takes to accomplish whatever project you've set out for. If you're continuously looking for shortcuts or focusing on the next new product, then you're missing the joy of what this hobby has to offer. But let me know in the comments, did you fall for any of these trends? Maybe you spent hours working on oil washes, went out and bought the entire Golden So Flat line, or maybe some trend I didn't mention. I guarantee all of us have fallen for at least one. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you at Adepticon. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.